Good morning. Welcome to the Java Cafe. Java fan.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Today is Wednesday, August 14th, 2025, and you are listening to the Java Cafe. My name is James Jimmy Hills, and I'm your host. Thank you for being here this morning. Wednesdays, we typically do what's today? Is today Wednesday? So I've had a record. So that means the title, everything on this live right now is wrong. To me either, because I think I was saying anyway. Today is Thursday, Thankful Thursday, August 14th, 2025. So I haven't messed up the date in like a year and a half, and that's just something I take pride in. So I really see it's your fault. Listen, I have a guest in the studio today. Listen, we're going to bring you on because he's back there cracking jokes, and I'm trying to be nice and not put him on the mic until he's ready. But it's Thankful Thursday. I'm thankful for this young man here who in many ways I've seen visible on social media. And one of the most visible spaces I see him is when I put up posts about parents, youth work, school, after school, violence, things like that. And he'll chime right in. I think he's well known for, he's a local entrepreneur. He has a brand, and I need to make sure that we get you connected with Cuddy of, you have your brand. I'll let you say it in a minute, but he has a brand called Rich Blood. Him and Nika are tight, and so there's fam collab potential there. So he has a brand. He's going to tell you what it is in a second. But without further ado, I'd like you all to welcome. I'd like to introduce to some, and folks are. He's from Boston, Keith. And then Keith is like Thursday, Jimmy. And the second thing he types in all caps was Academy Homes. This is over on Instagram. You can't see that. And Big Ma's Kitchen's in the building as well. All right, let's bring this brother in because he's talking, and I want to make sure you hear everything he has to say. So, everybody, this is Joshua James, a young man from the city. We are related. You all know that, my adopted family, the Winstons, the Washingtons, and McNeils, all in there. We're part of that family. So just naming that, we're family. But again, and Rich in Blood just commented and said, so we got to get y'all, connected. He owns, but anyway, say good morning to the people. And we're going to get into the youth work. I talked about the brand for a couple of seconds. We'll get into the youth work. So we'll start there. And I'm going to ask you, after you say good morning, to describe the state of our young people. Did y'all see his face? Describe the state of our young people with one word.
Well, first off, good morning, everybody. As you heard, James, I am local opportunity. Can't even get more. That's one word that I hate.
Entrepreneur. I can say it, but spelling it is a whole. Yeah, let me make sure I said that right. So go ahead.
But yeah, I'm a local entrepreneur. My brand is called Grow Rich Apparel. The mission statement behind that is pretty much learning from your experience. Never doing something more than once thinking you're gonna get a different outcome.
Which they call that
insanity.
Yes, sir.
It doesn't work, you know what I mean? So I do a bit of youth work. I've been doing youth work for a while now, and now that I look at it, I'm like, damn, I'm getting old, man.
I ain't gonna say nothing.
But some of the youth work started. I want to say like around 2010. I started working with Mission Safe. It was a summer program that they had going on for at-risk youth ages. I want to say it was like 13 to 18, 19. Co-facilitated a boys group. Fast forward, I worked for the Boston Public Health Commission for a little bit.
You did? What did you do there?
It was a program I was a part of. It was called the Health Crew. It was it was ran by Albert Pless Jr., I think.
Okay.
And we pretty much went around to different schools, different programs that dealt with health issues, did workshops, went to conventions around the state, and fast forward again, I became a coach, track coach. Um, so been doing youth work for a while. So I've been dealing with the families, dealing with the teenagers, and anybody who's in their vicinity. Um, Also did work with the city, doing some outreach engagement work a couple years ago. Um, and I'm just hoping that I can continue, being a like a mentor to some of the students and young folks that surround them in the city.
It's for me, that's one of the things that, as I said, and I joked about it. When I put post stuff about, young people, whatever,
Yeah.
you jump right in. And so let's, and you didn't give me your word. What is your, or did you give me your word for young
Oh yeah, you
people?
said
The
one
state
word,
of,
right?
yeah.
Um, uh, hmm. To put it in one word is very, very hard. 'Cause
You got to give me, it's a brand standard of the one word. You
Yeah.
got to give me one word.
um Influence.
Okay. Give me context. Okay. I don't
So
want to put words in your mouth.
yeah,
Give
so
me
I, so I,
influence.
so I feel like the state that our youth are in now, there's a lot of influence that there's a lot of things that's influencing them, right? Some of our youth don't come from the strongest households. It's almost like a recycling thing, like a revolving door, as far as the issues with the disconnect between parents and the child, the disconnect between the community and the kids, and even some of the schools. So because I feel like some of the youth feel like they don't have a lot to really look at. You have social media, so social media has been influencing a lot of different behaviors and mindsets that the youth is taking on.
It's that is so, I mentioned Rich and Blood. Even though not active in it, I'm always going to be a youth worker at heart. And like folks from the Real Boston Media, they say the same thing on the side of influence in social media and also on the side of um, home and parenting. I've often said, and I don't know if this was one of our debates, excuse me, on social media, but it starts at home.
Always.
It does, but then I've often found myself saying that home for some, and you correlated home, youth programs, the school and whatnot. I don't know. You probably know the name Pedro Cruz. He's like the youth engagement person for the city
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
Boston.
I actually met him. I want to say it was earlier this year.
Okay. He was a guest and he basically said that the safety net thing,
Yeah,
that everybody's connected. I'm sure you've been to aggregate meetings where you got, once in a while you have after school program, the youth worker, the counselor, whatever, they get together about a youth. So people are saying the same thing with what's going on with the social media piece. There's a sentiment that, and I hate the term Y, the letter after M. I ain't gonna say it. There's this acceptance of that's just what it is when it comes to this generation and population. Do you agree with that? First question. Talk to us about what you perceive as far as homes, and then do you agree that we can't shift the narrative of our young people?
Um, well, to speak on the homes, I feel like not everybody comes from a two-parent household.
Yep.
And some that do still sometimes go the route of a little bit of negativity, like negative influence. You know what I mean? Even though there might be two parents at the home, so it's like now
Mm-hmm.
there's a different scale because you have. They always say that the single parent home, those students, I mean, youth are always like going down the wrong path or hanging with the wrong people and stuff like that. But that could also happen with two parent
Mm-hmm.
households, and I've seen it. So I feel like that narrative definitely isn't spoken about a lot because you have both now. So is it really one parent or two parent that really matters? Or of course you want both, but I know some students who have some single parents that do exactly what they have to do to get done.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And you know, with our youth now, it's just I feel like they don't have a lot of I don't want to say they don't have a lot of role models because they're out there. It's just that I don't think they feel as connected as maybe in the past how things used to be with programs.
Do you think that couple of clarifying questions or
Mhm.
just digging a little deeper? Do you think that real time thought that social media now has become the mentor, the guide, there's some generalization there.
Yeah,
Facts.
definitely.
Let's say that. But by your experience, and we can keep it local, you said you've been to conferences, so I'm sure you can speak to what you've heard around national trends and whatnot. Has social media become more influential than the physical mentors? And we'll get back into some of that parent piece because I want to go there a little deeper as well. But your perspective on social media and mentors and examples.
I mean, like the craziest thing about social media and just the internet in general, everything is available. Everything is available. I have a nephew that asks questions a lot. If he isn't told the answer in that moment, he's going to find out on his own.
On social media,
E-
either Google,
Either Google, YouTube, social media,
TikTok.
whatever. If there's something that he wants to know and it's something that maybe his age group shouldn't know about it yet or be aware of, he's gonna go figure it out. So that becomes not, I mean, sort of like the mentor because they're trying to learn something, whether it be on a positive note or a negative note, they're gonna find out what it is, whether it's through social media, which is definitely a big piece, but I feel like that kind of shapes who they want to be around because of what they end up being attracted to.
Let me ask you this on the parent piece, and it ties into social media because I've often said, 12, 13, 14 years old, I need to have parents need to have the
Mhm.
passwords, monitoring, what do you call it? Location, all of that.
Yep.
Um, I love, and again, this has been a constant convo the past week or so that a single parent household doesn't negate negativity. I mean, doesn't automatically mean negativity.
Right.
And a two parent household doesn't negate negativity. And also, I find myself reminding us that, especially based with this presumption of a two parent home, some of this behavior is normal when it comes to rebelling.
Mhm.
Teenage, it's part of growing. We did it. It's part
Yeah,
of
it's like
growing up.
nature. Yeah.
Do you think, and we'll move on from the social media, do you think it's more intensified now because of social media? Because your rebel is instant. And we talked about this week, and everybody was laughing at me because I was saying that social, beefs back in our day, it would be a rumor.
Mhm.
Somebody might show you, you might remember, maybe not, a pager.
Oh,
Okay. So, rumor mill. Oh, I heard he said, MySpace, whatever back. It wasn't as immediate. It was like this, the cadence of the brewing of a beef, if you will.
yeah.
Now, brewing of a beef, what's the next trend or whatever? That's like this. Do you
Yeah.
think social media has intensified that rebelling?
It definitely has because you got to think about it. The internet, and before even social media, the internet started like mid 90s,
Yep.
right? So I was fortunate to be born in an era where I'm on the cusp of all the digital things. So with social media, like back then, if you had beef, smoke, whatever they want to call it, with anyone, you either knew where they were at all the time because they were there,
Yep.
or you ran into them. You didn't get the opportunity to be like, oh, drop the location, yo, dude's over here, boom, send the location, and now I can go. You know what I mean? Like, and then you have Snapchat that there's a feature on there where it allows you to see where everybody is on the world who you follow. All these beefs that happen with our youth end up on Snapchat and it goes viral and gets sent everywhere, right? That was never a thing before. So it definitely intensifies everything because now you have access like this, like it's that quick.
Thank you.
Like there could be a fight in the school
Yep.
at 9 in the morning. that, and it's gonna be videotaped.
Yep, unfortunately.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's gonna be videotaped and it's gonna be on social media by the next 5 minutes, and half the city's probably gonna end up seeing it.
Side note, I believe in getting all the nuggets and extracting any and everything that I can when I have experts in the building. The Real Boston Media is on, and we've talked about this a lot. So I'm curious to what the correlation would be between what you're saying in their comments. Based on what you said about recording, I had this first thought. There is legislation now, I believe. I don't know if it's passed that from bell to bell, or basically young people they won't be permitted to use their cell phones in school.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that as a youth worker in 2025? How do you feel about that?
I mean, it's a slippery slope.
Okay. How so?
Because we have certain type of parents who want to know what's going on with their child 24/7, and if they have the opportunity to have that information, they want them to have their phone so they can have access to their child still.
That quick cadence.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the thing is, I don't know if parents realize, I don't want to say detrimental, but how much having the child having their phone with them affects everything else that happens when they have the phone. Because if there's a fight, they're pulling it out. Now you got video, you got witnesses, and you want to know if your child's safe and stuff like that. But at the same time, if we're now talking about like having them not have it in school, I don't think that's such a bad idea, for the simple fact it adds to safety.
Okay.
And it will force the child to have to tap into what's going on in class. But then there's another piece to that, the type of teacher that's running the class. You know what I mean?
So we talked about parents, we talked about safety net, we talked about the web for our young people. Let's talk a little bit generally about those that engage with our young people, us old heads. How are we handling this? I find myself saying they're different.
Everybody.
We said it the other day. Some OGs that got street cred like you would not believe, and they still was like, yeah, this generation is different. How are we doing with, and this can maybe get us into, I would like to hear from you, if you had $1 million, or what are some tips and tricks for parents? So we'll do that as we close out this piece before we go into your brand. How are we doing in responding?
I feel like at this point it's kind of like 50-50.
Okay. That's real. Yep.
With our adults, you have some who are doing the work, who know why they're doing the work and what they're doing the work for. And I just feel like a lot of things that we're experiencing is a revolving door. A lot of these children are coming up how some of us came up, but it's just more intensified because, like you said, you got social media, you got the internet, and and things will go viral. We still have children who are growing up with no dads. They're locked up in prison or possibly passed away.
Yep.
We still got
or not alive and just because of
and not
whatever.
Yep. And it could be
let's go there. Yep. Come.
and it could be an issue between dad and mom.
And that's a reality.
But what we also have to realize and really understand is this has been going on for decades. So each 10 years, right, is a new generation. So that means that once we hit that mark, folks who are my age right now, we have to help the youth and help them navigate, because we've seen it already. We've seen all of it already, especially my era. Like I said, my era, we was on the cuffs of the internet. So we had the first iPhones, you know what I mean? We had the first Apple anything, you know what I mean? So I feel like it's really up to my age group to kind of like try to give back. And there's plenty of people who's doing it. Like if you think about Crew Love that just passed this weekend.
Is that Rich?
That's a whole bunch of guys.
I've seen Rich Montana on social media.
Jane Brand,
yeah.
Andrew
Shout out to him because I knew him before he was born. His mother and I,
Yeah.
we went to church together. So I'm hearing about Crew Love. I see him in the pictures. I'm like, yo, that's dude.
Yeah.
So go ahead. I'm sorry. Score for more, all of them. Yeah.
So we have things like that. There's a lot more. I feel like when it comes to the sports in the city, that's when everybody kind of like comes together. But I feel like we need more platforms that are similar to that doesn't have to do with sports, because not everybody's an athlete.
Yep.
But at the same time, I feel like even the kids who don't play sports, if they're at least in that atmosphere and knows what that feels like, because there was a lot of love this past weekend. There was a lot of love out there.
We could say no violence at the event, right? No issues.
I heard there wasn't any violence, but I did hear that someone was apprehended about something.
Okay.
I don't know if it was. I don't think it was during it.
Yeah,
I think it might have been.
But not what unfortunately is a narrative that when we come together, there's going to be something. It wasn't no
right.
big.
No,
it was peaceful and about sportsmanship. But I love what you said about getting us away from just sports driven. It's valid and it's needed. We know the stats. 1 in a million basketball players in the NBA. Everybody thinks we're going to be
I mean, the Celtics coach was out there.
I heard Joe Mazzulla. Yeah. And that's valid.
And
that's valid.
And that's how you could attest to things being effective.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He's not from the town, but he works here and he understands that there's an inner city of there's like the inner city of Boston. They got things going on, and a lot of things don't always get highlighted. So the fact that he was even there, which means that the reach is getting further.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that's definitely a good look. And if we have more platforms that are built the way Crew Love does their thing, I feel like not necessarily I'm dealing with sports. I think we can definitely broaden more extracurricular activities for our students. Like we really need to tap into what they like and understand it.
There is that, there's the STEM work, there's the sports and whatnot. And a lot of our young people, we're going to get into what they like. I don't know if you started it when you was a young person or had the vision. Before we get into, the brand and growing rich, I want to hear the mission and how that vision came again. The last thing I'll ask you about this space as a youth worker is, what is it that you would say to parents, single, mother and father, it's 2025, father, mother, whatever, parents, the construct of the family has, changed. What is it that you would say to parents? Rich and Blood's mother was here, Miss Karen, and she talked about she held Cuddy accountable and loved him. She told him when he was wrong, and she loved him. And then I said something about practicing, sometimes you got to practice tough love and love from a distance. And she said, I could never practice tough love. What would you say to parents about supporting their young people and at the same time holding them accountable? Because we know that, unfortunately, when you talk about influence, some parents and some people in the street have not been the most positive influence on some of our youth.
Definitely.
So, because some parents know and are benefiting from some of their young people being in the game. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So,
like I said,
that's real. So I said to I don't know if you call him Carlton and Chubbs from Heath Street the other day. I said cyclical. It's cyclical. It just it. So how do we, in the context of what would you say to parents if you could change the cycle? How do we do it from a parental standpoint, and not just with the kids, but there's parental involvement that goes away from when you're in the house with them. There's, I don't want to put words in your mouth. What would you say to parents?
For me,
if you could shift it.
For me, I'm not a parent, but I am an uncle.
And thank you for acknowledging that, because some will be is he a parent? Right. And that's real. That's real, because there's no experience like doing it yourself.
Of course. But at the same time, being a youth worker essentially is like an extension of parental guidance. Because first of all, the youth worker is an adult. This is a child. You know right from wrong, right?
Presumably, yeah.
Right. So for me, I just try to be as honest and transparent with the youth as possible. Because the reality, we have to understand the reality that our youth are living. and
what is that reality for them, if I may ask?
Not always being able to fit in somewhere. Some students, or just say youth in general, not everyone is has social skills or soft skills, and they're
Especially
like,
since COVID.
exactly.
Okay. Yep. I told y'all he's an ex. Come on, let's go there.
And even with the COVID, you know what I mean, that definitely set the youth back a little bit. There was no interaction. Imagine kids who were in kindergarten, first grade.
That was 20. This is
That was 2021.
This is
when we came
2021. So they're now. Well, let's speed it up, but not speed it up, but bring it up a little bit. Let's say they were in first or second grade. 4 years later, they're now in middle school.
Mm-hmm. So,
and that's where a lot of that.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of them are still learning how to, like, I don't want to say interact properly, but just knowing how to possibly come out their shell.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the only children that may not have had a lapse in any social things is ones who were able to be around possibly a big family, ones who have brothers, sisters, cousins that may have been around. But not everybody is fortunate to have that around them. So, but to fast forward, this is what it looks like now, and I feel like it's really up to the older generation to try to not fix it, but like give a helping hand, like, and keep it as real with these kids as possible, because that's what I do. Like I make sure that these kids understand that all you essentially do have is you, especially if you don't feel connected to your parents. So some of them are looking for guidance, and then they find it where they find it, and it's not always in the best place. But sometimes baptism under fire.
They say experience is the best teacher, and when it's when I often say I learned from most of what I've learned has been from mistakes and falling on my face. But there are some things that we just want to help see our young people avoid. I promise this is the last one, because you're saying the same thing that the brother said the other night, that they're real with them. But you would be, let's say, a 14-year-old, you're close to 40.
Yeah.
You would be considered either a OG,
which I don't
or
understand,
a double. Let's keep it 100, because you're approaching 40, and you would be, if you understand what you said about generations and whatnot, you'd be considered. And then now they're saying the generations is closer to like 8 years, maybe, because it's a mindset shift and whatnot. And so you could be a triple. So Josh, is it impactful? Are they listening?
Some of them are. I feel like some of them are. I think I've reached a good amount of students.
Okay.
But I do feel like we got to get them when they're in middle school, right before they hit high school, because that's when the mindset shifts. Now they feel like they're an adult.
Or would you say even in 6? Well, we know. Okay, so school models are shifting. Now we're going 1 through 6, and then 7 through 12. We get middle schools are.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I know they have the academies, to keep them. Mm-hmm. So would you say that by that 6th grade, 5th and 6th grade, as they transition into what is essentially high school, would you say it's there to start trying to catch them a little bit younger?
Yeah, definitely.
We're kind of saying the same thing, but
the reason why I say that is because the younger a child is, the more influential they are.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And if there's enough interactions going on where there's fun things going on, and things that kids that's tangible, I think that definitely helps in the long run.
Yep.
By the time they're like teenagers, they kind of like have this persona and entitlement and feeling like they're adults, and it's also because of what they're being exposed to
and given and allowed.
You know what I mean? And that goes back to the parenting. And some of these parents actually need help as well.
Are there? So that's the other. Oh God, I got to get you to the brand piece. All right. Give me 3 minutes. And
how are we doing for time?
It's 10:35.
Okay.
Give me 3 more minutes with this. We got to factor in depending on a generation of parents, we also have to own, and this came up, that, some grandparents had wound up raising their kids, and at 60, you don't have it like you used to raise a 6, 7. And then on the other side, a teenager, at least 6 or 7, the grandparents can still,
Yeah.
the teenager is looking at grandma like,
Right.
oh,
There's a lot to unpack, man.
and that's the thing, because I'm sitting here, and everybody that knows and watch, I can go 80,000 different ways with this. Okay, so I want to be able to get as much from you as possible to be able to share with these parents either now or in the after watch. When you said supporting parents, you've worked in spaces. Are there still parenting programs out there? If you're not in trouble, because most of the time you get into a parenting program as a man, either through DOR or, if you've been to court and you want to see your child, and you now have to go take a fathering class, to be able to see your child, which there are benefits to that. But away from criminality or Department of Labor or I'm old, DSS. What is it now? DCF.
DCF, yeah.
Is that available to parents to just say, hey, I'm 5'6". My 14-year-old is 6'5". I need help.
I wouldn't be able to say for sure off the top of my head that.
And thank you for your authenticity and saying, oh yeah. No, thank you.
But I would like to be optimistic about it. I do think that there are programs out there. I would definitely try to do some research on that.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of programs in general that are available that not everybody knows about, and only certain people may know about it.
All right, last question, because it's 10:34 and I'm going to try to say to this. But again, this is a lot to unpack, but I'm getting from the expert. Now, let's say all the programs are perfect and they're engaging this population that will go to programs. There's a population that even at 13, 14 is not going to anybody's camp, and they're not going in BCYF. They're not going in the Boys and Girls Club and the YMCA. How do we keep them? How do we get them, keep them engaged? That's a whole different population. That that 1% that's keeping stuff active.
That's usually the population that I end up dealing with sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Answer that last one. We're going to take a break and then we'll move on to this brother's brand.
Repeat that question again.
The question was, for the population that won't go into the centers, if programs are perfect, we know that there's dudes that ain't going to step nowhere near inside no program, and they're on the younger side. I'll get you later to talk about the older ones and whatnot, because I want to give the brand some love and hear that story as well. So my leg is shaking. So we're definitely in a space here. All right.
I feel like
last question of this space.
I feel like with that demographic, it's definitely hard to get them in the door to engage with the activities that are available and stuff like that because of whatever they are caught up doing. But at the same time, you can't force anybody to do something they don't want to do. So I wouldn't say the only thing, but what I think of is finding out, like paying attention to that group, and there's always low hanging fruit, and those are the ones that you have to get to. And I think depending on who those kids are, they can have some influence on their friends.
Yep.
So it's just a matter of tapping in with the youth and really looking at what they're paying attention to.
It's definitely youth work is an evolving. There's no one set model outside of the 40 developmental assets and all that other stuff. Love, authentic love, and supporting. So what I'm going to do, folks, is give Josh a minute. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll come back with you in just a couple of seconds and talk about Grow Rich Apparel, because I presume that a lot of your philosophy and the way you approach this love for young people, somewhere it's informed Grow Rich. So we're going to take a break, folks, and we will be back with you in just a couple of seconds.
Microphone check 1 2. Here we go. Java with Jimmy live at the City Winery. Microphone check 1 2. How you doing? I am well. Are you? We just here to have a good time. We're here to have a good time with everybody, hanging out at City Winery. I'm going to perform, and they're taking pictures of us. Some will do like this.
very sensitive person, and I feel the pain of my people. They know me, they call on me, and I assure them that I'm not a provider, but I am one who cares. I always say to them, well, it's better to know than not to know, because if you know, you can do something about it. Think about the loved ones around you. Think about the ones that love seeing you come through that door. Take the step and get tested. That's it.
Save lives and get screened for colon cancer. For more information, visit boston.gov/cancer.
Hey, everybody. We're sitting back with, in the first half hour, you heard an expert in the space of youth development. Oh, God. I remember the term positive youth development. I have not said those words in like years. That's crazy. We talked a lot with this brother about his work in youth development, but part of who Joshua is as well is an entrepreneur and also a brand creator. And so tell us, you've helped us so far to help us get our young people to grow rich. All right. Good segue there myself. Sorry. Grow rich. Where did it come from? Before we do grow rich, you've been in the industry. You've also, had tracks out and projects and whatnot. So tell us a little bit about that part, and then grow rich. Like, where did it come from? What's the concept? I've watched you hustle, and you're dedicated AF when it comes to that brand. Like, yeah. And I'll be honest. I think I told you, and I told Rich and Blood the other day, I was like, I was getting his stuff together, and I'm looking at Rich and Blood. And I'm like, before I confirmed or dropped a flyer for Rich and Blood, I sent you the invitation. Because I said, he gonna see that and be like, James, really, bro? No, so I want to show love. Definitely. I remember I did my photo shoot.
Yeah,
with the hot pink one.
Yeah.
And a pair of Timbs.
Yo, so much people wanted that pink, like men.
Rip. Oh God, I'll just surmise this convo because we could have that after dark about yes, real men wear pink. Because on one side, cats. Josh, okay, let's stay focused. You've been in the industry and you're really in it now in the apparel space. If you want, tell us where things are on the music spot and then go into the clothing, or are you going back or
we'll set it right now. So,
okay.
Started doing music. Well, I'm gonna bring it all the way back.
Okay.
So my mother's from Grenada.
Yep.
So I grew up with my mom's side most of my life, and that's what the West Indian side.
Yep.
Right? So I was exposed to all the carnival and all of that stuff from a little boy.
Okay.
But not even then. My mom played in a steel band called Metro Steel Orchestra.
Okay. They're still active now?
Actually, no, they're not.
Okay.
But I want to say the last time I played was a long time ago. I was still in high school. But when she was pregnant with me, she was playing the steel drums. Literally, belly like this.
And bang, bang, bang.
Doing all of that. So I'm in the womb hearing that. You know what I mean? So from there,
yep,
the music was inevitable. I didn't jump straight into it. But when I was about 9-10 years old, that's when I kind of started playing. So music's always been a part of my life. And then I just transitioned to doing rap music when I was in high school. And fast forward, we're still doing a little bit of music, found out about, selling CDs, selling merch. And then fast forward again.
The merch piece, did that get addictive as far as, because it was supported? I think I remember.
It kind of did, because at the time it's like you wouldn't think to have your own brand or that you're able to get t-shirts made or any clothing at all.
Coffee mugs, keychains, who would have ever, bruh. Yep.
Keychains. You know what I mean? So when I was exposed to that, I was in a group. So when I was exposed to that, I was just like, yo, we could have been doing this even earlier.
Yep.
Because it wasn't until my early to mid-20s that I got exposed to making my own CDs and going state to state, selling CDs and doing shows. And then the merch came along with that. So I had got to shout out my boy. What do he go by now? Cheese Bankroll is what he used to go by. I think it's Boston Cheese now.
Boston Cheese bankroll to Boston Cheese.
Yeah, I
Okay.
got to shout my bro out because he started his clothing line, and it kind of inspired me to do the same. Because it was almost like we're in a group, but we all should have something that's ours and tangible, right? So it started off being I was doing photography and cinematography and started a brand called Do You Matter TV because the music group was called Matter Music, which was music above the average. So that
What years were this?
this is like mid-20s, man. I'm like 23, 24, 25.
So you did more than putting out tracks and
Yeah, I've done a little bit. Like I still have a YouTube page with Do You Matter TV. You can see all the videos.
people already asking for the brand. So is it through the, just to interrupt a little bit, is the
Yep.
proper brand through the Grow Rich at Big Cartel?
Yeah, so
That's the one to use. Okay.
Yeah, so it's growrichapparel.bigcartel.com. If you want to check out the other website.
I already put the link in the comments,
cool.
and I'm about to go find your YouTube channel. But proceed.
Yeah, so so it started out with like the Do You Matter TV, and I was doing that, and I actually made Do You Matter TV t-shirts because the idea was to like kind of like do some content before we even realized it was content being made, and go around to like people in the city who were doing stuff that mattered. Do You Matter TV, hence the title, right? Kind of got stagnant on that and didn't really fall through the way I thought it would. So I kind of pivoted like a couple of years later, and I started reading what you call it, Grow and Think Rich.
Okay. Yep.
And,
Was it Think and Grow Rich? Or
Think and
yeah.
Grow,
Yep.
like that, yeah. And that essentially how I got the title of Grow Rich Apparel, and then because it's literally telling you things on how to be better, what not to do, and that in order to have different results, you have to do something different. You can't keep doing the same thing. And to me, that's growing rich, whether it's growing rich with finances, wealth, mental health. It's literally like a global phrase. So I just took that and ran with it.
I'm making sure, because again, folks are asking, so I made sure that the links and stuff there because we want to support this Black-owned business. So much of the Grow Rich is, if it's, I got to go back. You describe the stuff you did. I couldn't find the link for YouTube for Do You Matter TV.
It's spelled DOYOUMATA.
Let me say it again. DOYOU. All one word or DO?
Yeah.
Okay, DOYOU.
MATA.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's not Do You Matter, Do You Matter.
Oh, like a true Bostonian.
Yeah.
Matter. Do You Matter? Is it Dorma? No, not Dorma TV. Oh no, they're giving me some Russian looking something up there. Okay, let me go back to YouTube, and it took me out. All right, so the link is in there. The Grow Rich is more than a brand. It's a philosophy.
Yes,
it's a lifestyle.
yes. Like I'll give you an example. So I recently just released. So this T-shirt is
Put your mic down. Well, you can't because that's a different stand. Push it back, and it should come right back to you, and they should be able to see it. Get it out the shot. Hold it up, take the two corners, because I've seen it on social. Look, y'all. There it is. Hold on, because actually I forgot. I'm able to do something real quick. Don't hold it. Yep. Not a screenshot. Nope. I'm gonna be able to zoom in for the people. I'm talking trash. I'm going to be able to zoom in for the people. Hold on, y'all. We're gonna let you really see it. Yo, the camera's doing this thing today. I can see the details and so tell us about, you can see it on your phone, huh? Tell us about that particular design itself.
So this particular piece, I decided to come up with a collection called Neighborhood Framework. So it's an ode to all the towns that I feel that made up the inner city of Boston.
Bring it. Oh crap! Bring your mic back before they start letting me have it. We can't hear. Bring it a little closer.
Yeah.
We can't hear him. All right, go ahead.
So like I was saying, this is an ode to the town pretty much. I grew up in Roxbury, lived a little bit in Mattapan during my high school days, and I've been to a lot of different neighborhoods. I know a good amount of people from all over the city. So I felt like doing the ode to the town. Anybody who's from Hyde Park, Mattapan, the South End, Jamaica Plain, Roxbury, Dorchester, I always felt like that was like the inner city. Like that's what really makes up Boston, right? So the idea was to try to create a picture that had, you know, some familiar landmarks in it that showed that it was Boston. And if you could see like the
You gonna make me zoom in again? Hold on. No, you can actually see it here. Like it does reflect the South End and whatnot. I can go back and you want me to go and zoom in?
So pretty much you can see like the project buildings, and I was trying to make it so that it was like remnants of the old Boston where I grew up. Because I grew up in Academy Homes, and it was projects. It wasn't these townhouses you see now.
That's a whole nother zoom in.
Right.
Yep.
So
our shared market rent spaces, whatever. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So with this t-shirt, it was like I said, it was an ode to the town, and I have on the back, it has like street signs that have the town's names on it. And it's actually, this one isn't out. The one that I released was white. It was white to this.
Okay.
And it did pretty well.
So now we have the black version.
Possibly.
Well, the black.
if folks want to tap in and get the black one, let me know, and we can work something out. I haven't released it yet. So it could be I might do a pre-order. Who knows? You know what I mean?
If you hit him up in his inbox and say, "Hey, I saw you on Java," he might be a little more inclined to let y'all get it early.
Hey, maybe we can work something out.
One thing I love about you is you are not going to get cornered into either an information answer or a commitment. You're very diplomatic. You ever think about running for office?
No.
Okay. All right. I was just curious. It felt so good to ask somebody else that question instead of Jimmy, you gonna run for office? I've really enjoyed this. Dina said that she's tapping in. And how much are the t-shirts?
The t-shirts are 45.
The t-shirts are 45, and they're his stuff is quality. It's not one of them little Fruit of the Loom. What you call? And I'm not saying that this one is. I'm gonna get in trouble in case Miss Teresa's on. It's definitely good quality. So Mob Mo is on. I don't know who that is.
Oh, that's my guy.
I figured people. I'm recognizing some new names in here, and I'm like, he brought the crew in with him.
Yeah, he collects hats.
Oh, word.
He's from, I want to say Lawrence, but he lives out in the South now.
So we got Lawrence in the building. Shout out to Lawrence. Y'all make sure I'm doing better with this and you understand this. Let me put my little graphic up. Y'all make sure y'all go hit that like and subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, and Grow Rich as well. Not just Java with Jimmy, but Grow Rich as well. Because that was one of the other intents of having you come today. And so what's coming up next for Grow Rich Apparel?
So like I said,
you're working on this one.
I'm working on the Neighborhood Framework collection. There's a sweatshirt.
I just really realized you said Neighborhood Framework.
Yeah.
The pictures in the frame.
Yes. See, you got it. You got it.
That was a little key calling me a little delayed. I'm sitting here looking at him. I'm saying Neighborhood Framework.
Yeah.
The whole thing is in a frame. Go ahead, Josh. I'm sorry. Now the family's about to come out.
So next up, there's two sweatshirt designs that I'm working on. I'm waiting for both the samples. And once they get here, I'll preview them a little bit. Try to get some photo shoots and some film work.
If you need a model,
hey,
let brother know.
We'll talk. So that's what I got coming up right now. I actually was speaking to one of the manufacturers over in Pakistan that makes the stuff.
Oh, this brother doesn't play. He's international.
I have some things that I'm plotting for next year. Now.
Okay.
So the Neighborhood Framework is just kind of like practice for me right now, doing a rollout, because I did a rollout for the first time ever since I've had this brand.
You did a rollout versus just drop it and you're just selling it.
Exactly. So
And I have noticed because yeah, that is active on socials.
Yeah, I was trying to make sure that I spread everything out, so that it didn't seem like I was just flooding everything one day. Because I have a habit of doing that. I put something on the website and I just start promoting. But I actually took my time with this piece, and that's another thing with growing rich. You learn from experiences. This is something that I've never done before, and I had a different result because of it.
Hold on, I got distracted because I'm being demanded to put your Facebook link. They want the link, not the name.
Link of
I'm going to have to put the hyperlink of
okay,
Facebook
okay.
so they can just click it and go to your page. Folks want t-shirts, they want the link. Dina says she's going to tap in and support as well. There's definitely love over on Instagram as well. A couple of new names, so I definitely you definitely brought them in over there. But this was amazing. I can't believe it's 10:53. We were supposed to do like a half.
Really?
Or close half 45.
You got somebody else coming in?
No.
It's up to you, man.
Oh, we could
well,
one, Instagram's gonna cut me off after an hour.
Okay.
And then two, I got a show tonight at 8:00.
Okay.
And these, especially this was, I'm not as tired, but I've learned that when you have these good exchanges, it does deplete a little bit. You know what I mean? But no, this, and I want to have you back in a different, you could be your authentic self and speak here. And if you cuss a little bit, that would have been fine. But after dark is different.
Yeah.
That's when we do the deep dive into
nitty-gritty.
relationships.
Mhm.
I've been hearing this thing that, if you go to ask a young lady out, or if you even make a comment,
What you gotta say?
I wonder if you know what I'm going to say. So I ran a man's group a few weeks ago, and the dude said that he just simply liked an inbox and said, "You're a beautiful sister." She sent him a price list.
Of course she did. She has an upkeep, maintenance.
So that's I know it. And if the real Boston media is in here, they're going to be like, "I told you, Jimmy." Is it old school? Is it proof that if we get together, you're going to be able to, maintain me? And I get it, old school. You do, look out for the partner with the anticipation or belief that they're able to hold down themselves. But yeah, we can talk about that. If you want to give a little commentary right now as a teaser for After Dark.
I'll say this.
You should see your face right now.
I'll say this, right? I've been off the market for like 9 years. So.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, man.
Okay, watch out there now, brother.
Yeah,
so you common law.
Yeah, I'm all set with what's going on out here. I'm glad I'm where I'm at. I'm happy where I'm
Better say that if she's watching. You about to get a nice little big extra kiss.
Yeah, I'm definitely happy where I'm at. In the state of relationship today I feel is more influenced by social media than our youth.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it comes to relationships.
Yeah. Let's save that. Go ahead. Give us a little bit. A cliffhanger.
There's a lot of content on the relationships, specifically Black relationships. Because when we talk about these things, right? A woman wants this, that, and the third. What nationality is that coming from?
Okay. When we talk about conditioning, historical, my first thought would be white.
But in the state
more of a state of now, I would probably say it's probably our sisters to give validity to some real experiences and things that they've been through.
Exactly.
And it's not just sisters. We can talk about that too, but keeping it to the sisters. Yeah, that's a perspective that has to be validated. Mm-hmm. Because they made investments and then
everything. I feel like everything that those spaces have talked about, there's a lot of validity in it.
Yeah.
And is more or less based off experiences. And, everybody likes to use the word trauma a lot, but there is some trauma there. You know what I mean? With some people, but.
And for the brothers too, we'll end with this. I had asked, and this is one of the things I did. Okay, 2 things, and then we'll close off. You take care of yourself, health, mental health, self-care.
I try.
Thank you. You're real honest. Okay.
I try.
How do you try?
I try.
You got your water.
Yeah,
You've been drinking. You hydrate.
I definitely hydrate a lot. I hydrate a lot. For the most part, if I need to be, if I need a space by myself, I just go in my car sometimes, and vent to myself.
Music on
No,
sometimes, or just quiet.
just quiet
Okay.
because I want to hear what I'm saying and make sure it makes sense.
Yep.
And I have some close friends who I speak to about serious things.
Okay.
So I do get like, some advice here and there from people that I do consider. I might not always take it, but I'll always consider it.
Yep.
But I do think that I probably should tap into some therapy. Black men, we don't really do that.
We are definitely going to have you back for Java After Dark. I actually have a conversation Sunday night at 8:00. And if you're not doing anything, feel free to tune in. We got a brother that lives in the outskirts of Philly. Brothers coming here from Ohio just to be in studio, a brother from New York, and another brother from Cambridge. And we're going to have this conversation about Black men relationships. It's 10:58. Okay. Union Capital members, y'all get your hour points for watching today. We're going to bring Brother Josh back very soon on an After Dark piece. Dina, thank you. If you look, and I don't know, Dina, if you're watching on the Java page or Jimmy page, but Dina did post. There is Josh's, that is his Facebook, a direct link. So you can click it. It's hyperlink. You can go right in. There is his Instagram. And then also Dina posted the website as well. So please go support this brother because you can see he exudes. He's not just in it for the, and even if he was as an entrepreneur to make money, that's fine. But it's not just the money. There's a mission and a message behind Grow Rich Apparel. So make sure that you go support him. We're going to have him back in the Java Cafe soon. Just a couple of announcements before we go. We're in studio, so I would typically put my guest off, but you're here. So give me 2 minutes. Tonight, 8 p.m., the 3 Cape Verdean block parties with Milton and Mario. They will be here tonight live in the studio for Java After Dark. And then on Saturday at 10 a.m., we will be live from the Museum of Science with Dart Adams, author, activist. You know Dart?
Yeah,
Dart?
I don't know him personally,
Yep.
but I know who he is. I've seen him around. He seems like a cool dude. He definitely keeps it real.
Dart is, ooh. All right, never mind. Now my brain is going around a panel and whatnot. So anyway, all right. Saturday at 10 a.m. live from the Museum of Science. And then Sunday night at 8 p.m. we will have the conversation continuing with men's mental health and health. Sunday night at 8 p.m. with brother Joseph, Carlos Enriquez, myself, brother Vladimir, and that's it on Sunday night. That might take and on Monday we have Marv Neal, the owner of Urban 98.1 Urban Heat. And yeah, we went to high school together. And Marv and I, we love each other. That's my dog, but we talk so much trash.
That's like me and Melvin.
Which Melvin?
Woody.
That's like me and Woody. No, that's like Woody and everybody.
Yeah.
Oh my! One day Keisha was like, "Listen, y'all got to stop," because me and Woody. What's up, Woody? We're just saying what's up to you in case Keisha and Nico watching. But don't forget those dates, you all. Don't forget to go support this brother. We'll have him back for Java After Dark soon. And thank you all for being here today. And we will see. Today's Thursday. We'll see you tonight at 8 p.m. And that's it. We'll talk.